So I've got an interview tomorrow. It's for a job in the city. It pays your average amount, an okay amount that will keep you floating in a rental if you should go branch out into one. But I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know whether I want to actually work or go to the country and do nothing until I get a remote job. I don't want to go to the country because I'm scared of storms. We've just gotten through two severe storms, and don't ask me what it's like in that area. And I know that place gets storms, not every day, but one you might be waiting 3 months or closer to the end of the year till they get a storm, but when it does come, it gets everything there. Is from what I remember, because we've lived in the area before. In fact, I think we've lived in the house that's being built before, and and it's a wreck of the area weather-wise, And I'm like, I don't want to move out there because whenever we move out, something happens and we have to leave. You're pressured to leave, when it's showing that you can't handle severe storms, right? So I'm like thinking, well, I wouldn't mind going just for the trip, and I wouldn't mind going to see if anyone acts funny, maybe an excuse to break up for a while. Um, but at the same time, like if I don't go, I'll be sad that I'm not going because I don't like to work. I don't like to be stuck indoors. I will wonder, well, what would happen if I did go? Will I get a remote job or whatever? But I'm very protective of my things because I've got a good amount of cash in belongings, and I don't want to go into like a cyclone zone and have everything just tossed into the air and destroyed. And so I'm like going, well, I don't think for me that's the best option right now. So I have this job interview tomorrow. I I had two today. One is going to take until next week to decide. The other one sounds like a rush job. It sounds like they're going to start next week, sometime. If it's a week after, I would be surprised because it sounds like, oh, it's fast employment. And I'm like going, well, really, that's cool that it's fast employment. But on the same thing, if I had to choose from this job and the other job that I was interviewed for today, I would want the other job because it's more my kind of job. This one, I'd be like, oh, groaning and have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to make it there by 8:30 and stuff. And it's like, I really hate to work. I don't want to go to those offices, to do the kinds of jobs that, I'm stuck in most of the time. So, if it was a better job where you're not just working on the phones, where you're doing other stuff, I might be more positive about it. But in this particular job, it's like all you do is phone work, and you're like going. So, I like the sound of this job. The reason why I applied, I like the sound because it sounds like you're in control of the calls. When you want to make a call, you do a call. It's not inbound, it's outbound. So I sort of thought, well, that sounds pretty good because you can probably pace yourself a little bit more. But it also sounds bad. It sounds like you have to know things that you don't have a clue about most of the time. But when it comes to courses, usually you just read a course outline and it's like, okay, well, you can pinpoint the most important things. A lot of some course advisors are like pretty blasé about the course, and it's not until you get the digital version of the course outline that you really find out exactly what the course is about. So, the knowledge part isn't really the thing. I hate to work. So, anyway, I love to train. Get me on any training platform, yeah, sure, but get me working. I would rather work from home because I don't like offices. I don't like having to deal with, things like COVID and offices. You feel like a real big doofus, like being like the person wearing the mask in the office, just to protect yourself from COVID and stuff. So, um, but you do it because it's the safest thing for you for certain, especially during certain periods of time. But I yeah, I don't like to work, so I would have chosen the one that I was interviewed for in the morning, which is the work from home position. And I'm like going, if I got this job, say I'm interviewed tomorrow and I got the job and starting next week, I'd be like so depressed. Because I really do like the other job better. And but yeah, anyway. So I'm a bit nervous about that job interview tomorrow because I don't want to have to decide to not move to the country because I've got a job, because I'll be so sad. It's like I'm sort of half looking forward to the country, but I'm sort of half not, because I've already gotten control over my stuff. I said, oh, I'll just pay for the storage um because I don't really want my stuff to be wrecked, pretty much for however long. I usually give it 2 to 4 weeks until I get so bored I want to do something else, in a country environment. But I wouldn't mind going because I want to travel a little bit. I want to branch out away from the city a little bit. Every time I do that, I like it. I like to do it. But I don't because of the threat of storms and things. So, like I said, we just gone through 2 major storms. Certain areas are flooding quite badly, and I'm like, I have no idea what this place is like during these severe water and storms, but I would assume that it gets hit. And like I said, I think annually you'll get a couple of ranges of cyclones too. So, but anyway, but I wouldn't mind going out country. I know I've been coming out in bits and pieces, but I wouldn't mind doing a bit of traveling. I always enjoy it. I love sitting in a car and just looking at different things. I don't like to just work anyway, but I know I need it. I know I need the work because I haven't really earned much money. And whatever money I have gotten my hands on, I've sort of blown up. So um, I'm not really big on the money scale, which is the only reason why I would choose to work. But I also want to choose safety and not just do whatever, But I'm most concerned about everything. My last job, I did a 2-day trial, and I just wanted to. I was so depressed, I just wanted to cry, And that's sort of what I was halfway through doing, because I was missing jobs that would earn you more money, guarantee, because the job itself pays. It's not commission based like this other one was, and I was depressed about that. And I just get depressed in general, like when I feel like, oh, you're just probably choosing the wrong way. So, it choosing a job that you don't really love is depressing in itself, but missing out on other jobs because you've chosen a job is also depressing. So, I don't know. I don't know about jobs. I I'm not I'm not a big fan of whatever it is I do. I just think of a job and I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything I can imagine myself doing. Um, Even when you get a job of your dreams, like say it's trying to develop a new product line or something, starting with the name, then developing, packaging, and developing, logos and the words and everything else. Even when you got a dream job like that, it's like it just has to have something out of sync show up with the job, and it's like you're being thrown out the window real quick, you know. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about work. I mean, it's just not a love. I just do what I do because I can do it, not because I love it. So, um, and even then, I can't. I mean, I'm not really so great at my job, and a lot of people can tell right off the bat that it's just like, you know, a yes or a no. It's not like a I'm inspired, you know. So, um, I wish I could get more inspired, and I wish I could get really into whatever it is I do, but I often find myself like, you know, it's not really what I like. You know, I wish I could do something else, and I'm like, I'm very stifled over everything. And then this week, this week, I've had so many problems. I was like, for someone who just doesn't do anything. But today I did everything I wanted, and I'm like really excited. But then my happy feeling moved away and replaced by this confused feeling about, oh, whether or not I would like this job that I'm being interviewed for more. I would hate to have it heaped on me and me accept it. I was like, it's only base rate. You know, it's not base rate. It's only really barely scraping the. Well, it's not the bottom. It's the middle barrel. You know, um, but it's not just the money. It's just what I want to do. I mean, I almost do want to go to the country, but I also don't. So, but I do want it. I do want the other job because it's work from home as opposed to this job. But it doesn't mean that I'll get it. And if I did, I'd be like, you know, do I really need to keep this new job that I've just gotten for a job that I would prefer to do, even though one's permanent and the other's not, you know? It's like, I just don't like office positions right now. It's like being around other people is the last thing I want to do. And I'm like, I would hate to get an office position and end up in a worse way for choosing it, you know, where I could be having fun, like, I don't know, traveling or something. And I'm like going, am I really doing the right thing if I'm just doing the thing that makes sense, you know, not the thing that I really want to do. I mean, I do want to go out country for a little while, but I also don't because I know it's not because it's not finished storming. It's not the end of the storming season right now. It's like I don't want to be surprised by a wild storm. Anyway, I have that interview tomorrow, so I'll just see how it goes, and I don't have to sign anything if I really don't want to. I don't know, but I'm just thinking, what should I be doing really? I'm like, I don't know.